Alright guys, welcome back to yet another Monday educational video. So this is going to be yet another episode that is early access for the memberships here on YouTube. So we're going to be diving into inventory management. This is something I get asked about all the time while in raids, and there's a strategy to it. Let's just put it that way, okay? Something that seems so simple, but honestly, keeping your inventory organized while you're in the middle of a raid, especially amidst chaos, is game-changing, and it will allow you to play a lot more effectively. Not only that, but it'll get you to the items in your inventory you need much faster. And so we're going to break that down a little bit. We'll start things off here in the practice range, and then we're going to dive into some actual games to show you guys how I put that to use, and I'll kind of explain my thought process while we're in the raid. So first and foremost, let's just cover some of the basics, and I'll kind of show you guys with some examples where I typically like to position those extra items as I go throughout a raid and I'm accumulating more gear. So first and foremost, let's just talk about the overall layout. As you guys can see, pretty simple so far. I didn't do a Looting Mark III Survivor because it does give you more slots available, which is great, but you're not always going to have that depending on the augment that you run. So we're going to start with something basic here, just a Looting Mark II. And the first thing that I think is most necessary to cover here is quick use, right? These are the quick use items that you're going to be able to select while you're in the middle of gameplay, swapping between your weapon to your utility items. So the biggest thing first and foremost is I like to have my grenades at the very top. Now this is all preference as far as where you position these items, but I'll explain to you why I have them here as we kind of explore this a little bit more. So the reason I like to have my grenade on this top slot is it separates my healing items to kind of the other areas, so I can go straight up to my grenade, or in my quick use I can funnel down to the different heals that I need. I know that if I need white heals really quick, I can just funnel down to this bottom slot and I'm right there. If I need shield, I can go straight across and I know it's going to be there, and I keep this consistent every single time. The other thing, of course, adrenaline shots. I keep them kind of in this offset area because honestly, if I miss the adrenaline shot, it's not the end of the world. You know, I can always work my way to it, but you know, I try to keep my most prominent items like shield and grenades either straight up or straight across to make it really easy to access them in the middle of a fight. Now, the other thing that I like to do, and the reason I have these positioned where I do, is because a lot of times I bring in multiple types of heals or utility items like grenades and barricade kits, and this makes it really easy. Another great example actually would be a defib. So let's see if we, I don't know if we have defibs in here. Anyway, defibs are something I would also keep in line with this top slot. So essentially, as I collect more grenades or things like barricades, I keep those all in line with that grenade slot. So everything's going to be across this top layer here. So let's actually find a grenade tube. I think there's one. Oh yeah, right here. Right in front of my face. So if we were to accumulate a bunch more grenades, basically as they came into the inventory is kind of how I'd keep them. So I'm going to put the best grenades first, just so I know exactly where to get to them. And things like mines, you know, I'll keep a little bit lower. I'm not usually getting to those super quickly in the middle of a fight. But that way, if I go through and I'm starting to use some grenades and I'm about to push up, I can immediately just pop in here, boom, swing the next grenade in, and we're ready to go. No time to lose. So that's going to be a really, really effective way to just keep those grenades all in line, and as I go throughout that raid, I can continue just funneling things up here to the top of the inventory. And the same goes for heals, right? Pretty self-explanatory. As I get a bunch more heals off another player, I'm essentially just going to keep them in line right here. Best heals being second, so if I were to collect more herbals, typically, like let's just say I've got 2 stacks of herbals, I'm going to keep the herbals closest to my primary slot so that I can funnel my best heals in and then follow it up with bandages if I need to top off just a little bit. Same thing with shields. They usually just stack there as well. Adrenaline shots, if I don't have a ton of grenades up here, usually I'll just stick them at the top end because that's in line with, again, where I'm going to put those. So this is kind of what it would look like if I were to go through and collect these items. Now then the next situation comes like weapons and ammo, right? There's a reason I put all my ammo at the bottom of my inventory before every single raid. Because when you're going through and you're looting a bin or a body or whatever it is you're getting, the items that you loot are going to immediately funnel from top to bottom, left to right. So if I were to just shuffle a bunch of these items in, as you can see, they're filling up the top of my inventory. Well, this gives me a little bit of a gap to know that, okay, this is my ammo supply. I know exactly where to look every single time when I need to check my amount of ammo. Obviously, you can see it down in the lower right-hand part of the screen. But if I need to organize ammo while I'm going throughout a raid, like again, let's just say we got a couple different guns, we funneled some stuff in. What I like to do is keep all of my ammo organized at the very bottom of my inventory. That way, these other items are kind of apart. I know it's all ammo down here. Everything else is going to be either utilities or items that I'm looting. Guns are going to be the next part. So I have a primary and a secondary now. If I were to loot some more bodies and get some additional guns, I'm going to actually just stack these against where my weapon slots are. And there is a strategic order that I like to do this in. If there's a gun mid-raid that I would want to swap as my primary replacement, let's just say I need some range, so I swap to the Pharaoh, I'm going to keep that right next to this slot. That way I can hot swap them as often as I need to during the raid. And that's going to save me a lot of time rummaging through trying to remember, oh, it's up here, and then trying to drag it, and then all of a sudden I get into a fight, I go to swap back, and I'm like, gosh, where did I put it? Oh, it's up here, right? So everything's right here. It's super easy, super quick to swap. Same thing goes for the secondary, right? So it's right there. I can easily just swap over. That keeps things extremely easy for me. And again, I just know where it's going to be in my inventory. That's a reason it's so important to have this organized before you get into a raid, or at least knowing how to organize it as you get more items, because you're going to be able to find them much quicker in the middle of chaos. And we all know how that goes. You get into a raid, you get into the heat of the fight, and all of a sudden everything's going blank because you cannot remember where you put your freaking grenades. So that's why we want to keep it organized. So that's a general explanation on how I do things. Last thing that we'll cover here is just my safe pocket items. I always bring a hash key, pretty much in every single raid, as long as the hash key is available to be used. If it's night raid, if it's electromagnetic storm, you can't use them, so obviously I'm not bringing them. But what I do like to do is keep my snap hook in line with my grenade slot, because again, it's a direct up and down movement, so I can just go straight up to my grenade, or if I do swap over to my snap hook, I go straight up to get to my snap hook. And so again, I know exactly where it's going to be. It's super easy to get to. Just go up immediately, and then we're there. And then when I have to put it back away, it's super easy because it's right there. So yeah, again, guys, like muscle memory and just remembering where you like to keep items is a great way to just improve your gameplay overall and just reduce some of those little bumps that are going to come up like as you're running throughout a raid and trying to figure out what the heck you have in your inventory. So let's dive into some actual raids now and see how we can put this to use. Alrighty guys, so we're diving into this first raid here, and the objective is pretty simple. We're just going to use a little bit of different utility here to move around the map and get into some PvP action. But hopefully through the process here, I can explain my mentality as I loot other raiders, essentially just organizing their gear into my inventory and prioritizing what I take and what I leave, which I think is really, really important. And again, it's just going to keep you moving throughout a raid much quicker than if you're trying to fumble through it every single time. So first and foremost, there's a really cool spot we can get up at the top of the hospital here. So let's just go up. There we go. Check for a breach here. Nice little weapons crate. Get a secondary. Ooh. Look at that. Okay, we'll keep these. So another thing I like to do is valuables in my inventory I place at the bottom right-hand side. These are items that I for sure want to come out of the raid with. You know, obviously, that's going to possibly change up as I find new items, but I immediately know where to look when I'm considering like, okay, is there something I need to get rid of? Is there something I need to take? And that's a really, really useful thing to be keeping in your mind as you go through and collect the variety of items you will find throughout a raid. So let's go ahead and do this really quick. We can actually make a couple more adrenaline shots, which is really nice. Now we can drop that. Let's do this. Top off, and we're good to go. And again, I know exactly where these heals are, so I can just move things back and forth where they need to be very, very easily. All right, let's go. We're very likely going to be running into players with, oh crap, medium shields and much heftier gear in general. So We're gonna have to play smart here. We're gonna have to be mindful. Oh. Okay, someone's going up the zip. We might actually just snap right on top of him. I can't remember if it's the one in front of me. Yeah. Somebody was down here. We're gonna do something else here. Commit suicide. This is where we're gonna want to use this. Okay, we're good. Healed up at least. He's close. He's above me. We probably should cross over here. Could also just snap to height now. Get above this guy. Tina. Got him. Holy. Sometimes just gotta get them to run the course of their magazine and reposition there. Holy. We're gonna heal up here, and this is where, again, this utility is really nice to have on us. We'll place that barricade. I know this backside's gonna be mostly safe, so once we're fully healed, we're gonna place this guy right here, just in case someone comes up zip. Watch our surrounding sides really quick. And let's upgrade, boys. Nice old Bettina. And notice how I'm funneling through, and I'm actually organizing everything as I loot. This is really, really helpful. Now you don't have to do it while sitting on the body, because that's just gonna keep you there a lot longer, which is not necessarily ideal. But let's go ahead and do this. I'm actually gonna do this, I think. We'll run that. We got the Tempest one and the Bettina one. Wow, everything just started going crazy the moment we went and fought that guy. Let's go. We got more fights to take, boys. Let's go. Bunch of flares going up. Holy. Okay, just do a little bit of organization here. Let's get our ammo down. We're just gonna move that into those positions there. We can move the adrenaline shots down, which is fine. Don't really need the defib, but we'll keep it for now. So I've got all my heals lined up here. Good to go. Let's take a look over here towards... Yeah. Town Hall. Got a lot of action over there. Also had some towards our Busto Tower. Alright, so we're going to try to work our way over. We're going to take this high ground here, where those birds just got kicked up. Here we go. Okay, they are just behind these buildings, so we're going to take height on Town Hall, I think. I need to look at taking ultimate height here. Let's get some grenades on him. Cracked him. Not sure where he went. He's got a bobcat though, so we're gonna maintain height. Do not want to give that up. More birds kicking up here. Let's get back to height. They could easily be working up to the bridge. This guy could have gone around and sat in the building underneath me over here. Just not sure where he's at. And I'm honestly gonna get this smoke or this barricade kit ready, because we don't have much cover up here on the roof. Let's try to take an angle here. Oh, here we go. Here's our boy. Where's he going? That's a renegade. These guys are likely gonna fight, so we'll let them. I kind of want to get a little bit lower here. We can't do much to pressure this guy. He's just looting. He's getting a lot of goop right now. Get those. Dead. The other dude did shoot him. Not above me, is he? Oh, he is. Oh, GG's, brother. I'm gonna two of you snap that. Gosh, dang it. Okay, guys. That'll happen. That'll happen. We did our best there. We did our best there. I knew I shouldn't have climbed that ladder, but I only heard one snap, so that was a little bit confusing. Alright guys, here we go. This is our second raid. I did choose to go with a more legit kit this time, so we are using a Looting Mark III Survivor. I'm organizing things a little bit more differently, but that is going to be really helpful for this particular raid. I figured, you know what, I might as well show both sides of things, a basic kit as well as a legit kit. However, we are only bringing one gun, so we're going to just send it with the Renegade 4, in my opinion, the best gun in the game, the most versatile, and easily probably my favorite pick against Arc in general. So yeah, guys, we're gonna dive in, try to get into some action here, and see if we can put this kit to use and do the same as last time. So let's get after it, boys. This time on my favorite map. All right, let's go ahead and check this breach. This is a great chance to find additional utility. As you can see, wolf pack just like this. We'll put it up here. Lure is actually huge. Matter of fact, we're going to do that just so it's a little more accessible. And that's going to be a really good snag right off the bat here. Because, I mean, essentially, like, if we need to use that wolf pack in a pinch against the Arc, we can. And it's right there and ready to go. But the lure grenade is, in my opinion, possibly going to be even more valuable. So let's go ahead and just peek. We're going to look off towards these other potential spawn locations. See if anyone's really pushing over heavily here. We'll probably work over to this other high ground. Uh-oh. Let's guy's likely gonna run. Oh, he fell, I think. Let's just do one of them numbers. Okay, there's one. Is he running? Or he threw a lure? Oh no. This guy's got a kit though. Let's bring him back. And that's where those can be really nifty. Oh! Unless the archer already shooting at you. He's throwing another one. There he is. There it is. Okay, I don't know if we got the complete fin, but let's take care of this guy here. Piece him up a little bit. And then we do have a little smoke. Might be able to put that to use. Give us some initial cover, and we're actually going to push this guy. So we did get him pretty low. We're going to have to deal with these arc, though. In which case, I have the perfect thing. With that, we're pushing again. Okay. Take care of business. He's got a rattler anvil, I believe. And now we can put these barricades to use. Just check for anyone else nearby. Never want to just start looting immediately here. We got 2 fins on the individuals I cared about taking out.
Down there.
We also have someone here.
Raider,
Let's see where he goes. He might be kind of booking it this way. If he goes out in the open, we might just get some shots on him here. There he is.
Raider, down there. Raider.
Just keep an eye out. We're probably good to loot this guy, as long as we put up some walls. Give ourselves a little bit of space here. Heals, beautiful. Ammo below. Look, I hear footsteps. Yep, I do. Hot. Yep. All right. Probably a free kit stitcher. So I should have definitely organized my grenades there. Well, grenade. Would have been helpful. In this case, I don't have a grenade, but I'm going to throw extra heals in there. And the reason I'm doing that is just to fill the slot. So if I need to pull my snap hook out, I have a lot more flexibility to use it. So I think this guy's good. We're gonna pull up close on this guy. This guy did push up. Let's see if he's brave here. Probably best for me to be up on this lip, not on the stairs. You could also just push down on him. Oh yeah, he's cracked. He's cracked.
Bob, hold on. Hold on.
Unlucky. Where's this turret, though? It's a cheating turret. Oh, there we go, Bobcat. Let's go. Let's get height. Okay, we kicked up those birds. It's gonna give away our spot. There he is.
Raider, down there.
Wishing I had a grenade right now. We're gonna full send this though. Okay, I didn't mean to just stand there. I tried to throw in some rolls, but they did not really go. I thought I heard a Bobcat on the other guy. Did I not? He finished him somewhere. There it is. Bad spot. GG's, bro.
GG's.
Oh, that's so unlucky, guys. I did not honestly mean to go in there. We moved. We did what we could. We did what we could. Bobby 4 and a Volcano 2. Oh, guys, that would have been a good kill to get. Okay, we had 6 knocks there. We should have had that last guy, too. Just didn't get a chance to heal up and peaked a little bit too much with him having the Bobby there. Unfortunate. Alrighty guys, well that's going to be it for the inventory management video. Pretty short one here, but not a whole lot to dive into other than the fact that I cannot emphasize enough the importance of just knowing where not only you keep your items in your inventory, but where to put them as you collect them throughout a raid. It's just going to overall improve your speed quite a bit and help you stay on top of every single raid you're diving into and being able to go into one fight into the other very efficiently without hopefully dying because you can't find your grenades or dying because you can't find your heals or whatever the case may be. So definitely a good one to keep in mind. It's going to help your gameplay tremendously. So don't forget to put that one into effect yourself. And just remember, at the end of the day, my placements are just my placements. If there's somewhere better for you to put them yourself, do that. By all means, explore with it. See what works best for you and your play style. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you're not already, don't forget, this is an early access video. There are 4 of these every single month that later on get published here to the page, but only the early members get access to them a week before everyone else. There's 4 a month that come that way. So subscribe to the flock here on the YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I appreciate you big time. God bless you guys. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.